Yes. Well, I welcome you once again to today's edition, and I'd like to say thank you for cooperating to go through this journey with me. I do not also take it for granted. So we'll cruise into what we have in here today, and we're talking about discovering and understanding your product description. All right, so I'd like you to look at this. This was what we actually started with as the plan. And we're doing fine in the sense that we've been able to cover up so many of these things, and we've been able to merge up some week's activity. And as we speak, we have done the one for week 1. I've done the one for week 2. That's to do with the personal tree of life and the jar of life. I've also done the one we did last week about personality and love language. And this is what we're supposed to be doing today, discovering your personal product description. But then last week, we were also able to merge that of marital compatibility with that of last week. So this is why I said we're trending fine. If we follow this schedule, it means that we're supposed to have this topic either on the 13th or 15th or 17th of December. But this is why I said we're doing fine. Okay, so confirm you can still hear me.
Yeah, can still hear you.
So look at what you have on your screen, and this is talking about your user manual. You remember when you buy a product, on that product, you have product description that has so many details, the name of the product, the characteristics, how you can use it, the frequently asked questions, what's not to do with the product, and all of those details. So see yourself like that kind of product. And this is what we're talking about today, because every one of us, we are a brand. And some people have not known this about themselves, is why they are living as photocopy and they're trying to look like someone else. We are all brands in ourselves. So now this is what we'll envisage to do before you even decide to go into marriage. First of all, you need to know yourself. And by knowing yourself, you have to discover who you are. You have to discover your temperament. You have to discover your personality. And when you discover some issues you have, you fix those issues. You go through therapy if you have any therapy, any trauma issues. And if you have any childhood issues, you also treat them and become whole before you then decide to say you are going into that journey of marriage. All right. Then I want to talk about this quote from this popular man called Chris. He said, only dead people can venture into marriage successfully. And he also said, when we fail to cut ties with the nation we are coming from, the old nation, we sabotage the new. Even if we decide on the new nation we want to build and intentionally pick up the culture of our new nation. Now, let me explain what this is. We all came from different homes, and this means that there is the culture, the norms and beliefs of where we all are coming from. And there's a tendency to import what we have brought from our individual homes into the new home. When a lady and a man decides to come together and say they want to get married, what happens to them is that they form a new nation. And that new nation cannot be a branded new nation if they do not unanimously decide intentionally to work at betting for the new nation. This is why you see us going through the rigorous activity of checking our belief system and the childhood period, what happened to us, what went wrong, is there any trauma somewhere, so that we can heal before we then come together and build up a home. So, and I think this makes a whole lot of sense. If you don't understand that truly, it is only dead people that can venture into marriage. I can say that from experience. And there is no amount of investment you think you have put into yourself as a single person before you get into marriage that you think, oh, this one is enough, I don't think I need anything again. It's a lie. People who have done that before, what happens to them eventually is that when they get married and they decide not to work on themselves again, the marriage will start depreciating, because you see, marriage or relationship, as we call it, is a living organism, meaning that it can die and it can also live, depending on what we input into it. So if the two individuals in that relationship fails to intentionally work at their relationship, it's going to get sad. And this is where you hear a man saying, well, I'm no longer getting satisfied with my wife again, and the woman is saying, oh, I don't even get fulfilled again, and I'm in this marriage, because one person have failed to intentionally work at it. So this means that both persons involved in this relationship must intentionally work at the relationship for it to become blissful. Now, this is where we're going to, and this is all there is about the user manual. You are the product, just like I said, and this is the assessment we're going to do about you being the product. We'll talk about your product description. Who are you? If you are to give a summary of who you are. I, for one, might want to say in a sentence that I am a young, passionate lady that sensitizes people to know that they have destiny to fulfill and empower them to fulfill it. That can be like my product description. Now, and when you're talking about your product description, it has to include your name, your gender, your religion, if you like, your tribe, if you like, what you're passionate about, your height and age. I know that there are some countries where they do what we call matchmaking. And it will surprise you to know that all of the things on this platform, on this user manual, is what they use. And I even heard of that market where there's a product description of so many people written in paper, all of the details about that person, just like we are seeing today, is being displayed. And the parents of the would-be bride or would-be bridegroom goes into the market to check the one that suits what they like for their child. Now, that sounds crazy, yes? But you remember that in the same scripture that we read, it was Abraham that went to choose a wife for his son. Even though we see that it is old school for our parents to choose for us, believing that they know that we are well equipped to make that right decision by ourselves. And this is why you need to do this by yourself. Now, nobody's doing this for you, but you are doing it for yourself. Can I still be here? Please confirm you can still hear me so that I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The next one is capability and functions of the product. So if I ask you, what are you capable of doing? And who you are, what is it that, if I use you as a person, use in inverted comma, what am I going to benefit? So here we're talking about what can you be used for? What's your usefulness? This is where we tell people to find their purpose, why they are living. Okay, so what can you be used for? And what are you capable of doing easily? I sing easily. I think I communicate easily, even though I think I'm trying to work on that. It's not like natural for me. But when you talk of leadership, yes, it's natural for me. Some are romantic naturally, some are touchy naturally. I am not touchy naturally, something I'm learning. Okay, some are good innovators, they are very creative. Some are workaholic like me, okay? So you just need to know what you're capable of and what functions you have as a person. Then the next is product feature. What are your features? These are talking about your characteristics, your strong qualities, the values that stands you out from every other person. But for me, if you want to talk about me, you talk about my passion, talk about my hardworking ability, talk about the fact that whatever I say, I stay by it. Talk about the part that I am passionate. Talk about the fact that I could be a workaholic. Yes, but for you, it might be different. Some could be that they are very creative. They are people that thrive with fun. It could be whatever. There's no hard and fast rule about this, but then it is just that quality that stands you out. You want to mention them here. And then the next is your user recommendation. How do you recommend that people use you, or how they should not use you? For me, I think one thing that does not appeal to me is when people do not keep to their words. It pisses me off. When people are not, yes, people who do not have integrity, I really cannot thrive with them. People who give excuses for not delivering things, I don't thrive with them. So who can flock with you? For me, who can flock with me? There are people that are like minds, people that share my values, okay? But you might want to be explicit in this manner to say people that are hardworking, people that delivers, people that are responsible, people that are accountable, whatever you think it is, you mention them. And what you think people should not use you for. You also mentioned that without mind saying what, and I think this is clear, right? Okay, so the next is detailed instruction for installation. How would we install you if you were to be a product and you will work effectively? Meaning that what are the instructions that will be for your makeup? How do you think people can get to you like easily? Like what do you think people can do to appeal to you? Okay. What do you think is that thing that if you tell them do 1, 2, 3, 4, then you can get to me? That's like your detailed instruction. So if you are the hardworking type, I think you get through to me. If you are the type that is responsible, yeah, accountable, you will get through to me. And to use me, and underline the word use. I think one of the things you want to do, because I'm giving myself as an example, is to ensure that you are a man of integrity. You are somebody that keeps your word and vice and so many of those things. Then the other is safety precaution and health hazard. How to prevent you from damage? How do we prevent you from damage as a person? If you want to damage me, when I'm stressed up and you still increase my stress level, then you want to damage me. Whenever I'm stressed up, it's better you let me be, allow me to keep quiet and get over it. So how not to use me? I've just said it. When I'm stressed up and you just want to use me anyway, anyhow, you can't get the best of me. Or when you are somebody that flatters, I don't thrive in an environment where people flatter me, or when I sense that somebody is saying something just to flatter me, I really do not thrive with it. Now, you might want to also tell us some things about your health. For example, this person says to maximally enjoy this product, please avoid monotony. Meaning that this person is someone who is creative, who is out of the box thinker, somebody who you cannot really defeat because of his creative nature. He says, because as these products can't stand monotony. So what are those things you cannot stand? Being your health hazard. You want to state them here. Another thing this person says about him is create an accountable environment where these products can be emotionally accountable without judgment. I just mentioned accountability too for me. And yours might be responsibility, yours can be integrity, yours can be time management, it can be anything. Then you want to go through the troubleshooting session to say, you know, there are some things that we know about ourselves that people do not know, but you know those things about yourself. So you need to mention those things here. What do you know? What do you do when something is wrong with you as a person? Some people sleep when they're stressed up. Okay? Some people go to shower. Some people just want to be alone. Some people go to listen to music. Some people go to swim. So this understanding about you will help your partner or whoever is relating with you to be able to relate with you better. Remember that all this session we're going through, even though primarily is because of our relationships or marriage in the long run, but when you take the effort to work on yourself, all of these benefits, everyone that relates with you is going to benefit from it, whether your parents, your siblings, your colleague at work, or even the church. All right. So another thing is, what can your partner do to get you out of your bad mood? Somebody says, just tap me at the back, just hug me, just peck me, just say sweet words to me, just say nice words to me. You just want to let your partner know this. For this person, it says, when damaged or unsettled, do the following to me. 1, apologize and use 3 golden words. I am sorry. You see, this word, as simple as it is, many people find it hard to say. And I understand this because I've been married for years now and I know what it is. In fact, I give kudos to my husband. He doesn't find it hard to say he's sorry. This is based on learning. Because every man, his ego will not allow him to say he's sorry, even when he's wrong. But and this is why we'll talk about training. When you train yourself more, you'll be able to learn how to say you are sorry, even when you are not wrong. So saying you are sorry sometimes is not only when you are wrong. You have to say it just to keep the atmosphere of the relationship cool and everything intact and sweet. Now, the last one is frequently asked question. Okay, you want to tell us about many things people can ask about you. People might think, people who do not move closer to me can say, is this person proud? From afar. Maybe because of how intimidating I may be. but I can answer it to say, no, I am not. I'm only bold and confident in what I do. Is this person religious or spiritual? If I want to answer, I will say, no, I am not religious, but I'm spiritual. Now, somebody might want to ask again, is this person a tax master because she wants you to deliver things at her own pace? I'll say no, but just that I like or I like to see results. Is this person a threat? Of course, no, I am not. I am somebody who has high moral values. Yours can be anything, and it can be anything about the frequently asked questions. So just think outside the box and do the needful. Now, I think this is clear. Confirm that this is clear before I move to the next one, because you are going to do this analysis about yourself and share the result with me. Yes, is it clear?
Absolutely, it is.
Thank you. Now, moving on. We want to do an analysis here, and I want to use two people. Elizabeth Ayola, are you on the call? Is she still on the call?
Yes.
Can you talk where you are? Is it possible for you to talk?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if it's possible for you to talk, I'd like to do this with you and Stephen, if you don't mind. Now, this is an assessment. The first is saying, what is the most important ingredient for a successful marriage? Elizabeth, you want to answer this? What do you think is the most important ingredient for a successful marriage? And then Stephen will also tell us his own.
Okay, ma'am. For me, it's love.
Is love. Right? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Elizabeth said it's love. Stephen, let's hear from you.
Understanding.
Understanding, love, understanding. Okay. I wanted to be typing, but I can't find my tool for typing. Now, if you said it's love, Elizabeth, what do you think is love? And I'm coming over to you too, Stephen. What do you think is that love? Are you still there?
Love is
Okay.
yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So love is like an affection between two people.
Affection
Let's
between
say two.
two people. So let's hear from
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Stephen. What do you think love is?
Yeah. Love is sacrifice. Love is connection. Love is has a bit of understanding as well. So love
Connection,
encompasses
sacrifice,
a lot of things.
understanding. All right, thank you. So how do you know someone who truly loves you, Elizabeth?
Okay. How I know how I know someone between us
Yeah,
is when there is mutual understanding between the two people and they can sacrifice, they can make decisions that would benefit the both of them.
mutual understanding and can make decision, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Between yourselves. So over to you, Stephen. Let's hear from you.
Priority.
Priority. You know someone truly loves you by showing priority. You want to explain for that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So love is expressed by, to me, by saying you could actually go through regardless of whatever it is, just placing the person at a premium um, position in your life. So probably you have a lot of things to do. Because you love this person, you can go all out. It's not convenient, you can sacrifice. And it's not as if you accept it, but you can understand that okay, I can whittle down a few things in order to accommodate your excesses. So it's all about placing the person in priority at all every levels and standards.
That's beautiful. It's clearer now. Then what do you think marriage is, Elizabeth?
Okay, so marriage is the coming together of two matured people to live, to grow, to stay together, and to understand themselves. and to fulfill destiny together.
To stay together, to understand themselves, and what?
Fulfill destiny together.
Okay, and fulfill destiny together. Yes, Stephen.
Okay, yeah, marriage just for progress. So that
What?
implies that there's
For progress.
progress. Yeah, so that implies that you cannot do it all alone. You, for the next level of your life, you need support. So you need somebody to help you grow. In terms of the next level, probably in your career, you need support to procreate. You cannot procreate alone. So you need somebody to do that together with you.
Clear.
To
I
live
just want
life.
us to keep it short. It's clear. It's clear. I'm doing this so that we can see how these things roll, not to put us on the spot. Now, why do you want to be married? First of all, just give us one reason, major reason. Elizabeth. And every
Okay,
morning you
because
have to go through this because it will help you see yourself in the true picture. Yes?
firstly, because God is love and He has commanded us
I
to
didn't hear that.
okay, I said because God is love and He has commanded us that a man should leave his family and to cleave to his wife.
Okay. Yes, Stephen.
Yeah, like I had earlier said, it's for progress. So I want to get married because that's the next stage. It's a precursor to the next stage of life. So
All right. Then why do you accept? Let me leave this question. Let me take the other one. How do you hope to survive marital crisis? Starting with you, Elizabeth. Marital crisis, including so many things you can think of. From
Okay, can
domestic
I get
violence to emotional trauma and all of those stuff.
okay?
Communication issues and all.
So okay, if it is, for example, if it is communication issues, it is something that we can call each other and sit ourselves down to talk about it, and we should improve on how we communicate and giving examples of steps or processes that we can do to make us improve.
Beautiful. Yes, Stephen. How?
okay, understanding.
Understanding. I like this understanding. Okay, next person. The next question. How do you love to handle infidelity in marriage? I know as believers, we don't like to talk about it, but not talking about it sometimes is why the devil take us for granted and build on our ignorance. So in case, God forbid, right, is what we say, but it's not a strategy. So how do you handle infidelity in marriage?
Sure. Okay. God will, God will help us. God will help us, but how to handle it? It's just God will help us. I
Okay.
don't have.
All right. Over to you, Stephen.
Okay, yeah. Three things: trust,
Trust
understanding, and grace.
and grace, right?
Yeah, trust, understanding, and grace.
I like this. And it's interesting for me. I don't know how it is for you. I'll tell you some things about what we've just done. And one of the ways to help people out is to ask them questions, especially when it comes to premaritals. I imagine that I was doing this physically with you, would have gone further into this question and then make you understand this question one after the other. But then let's keep it as it is and let's cruise. Now, we will go through what we call the troubleshooting session. It is actually an assessment, just like we have done now. Who else do we have on the call? Maybe they can also help out. Ura and who else is there? Okay, it's just Ura now. Oh, I don't want it to look like I'm just putting the two of you on the spot. Maybe I just reiterate. Now, questions. What patterns have you discovered in your parents' family that you hate to see reoccur with you? For anyone planning to get married, you need to do this analysis. sincerely. Identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are not working in your marriage, your parents' marriage, that you see that is not working, and plan strategically how not to repeat the error. I did this for myself, and I think I mentioned it in the last class, how I was able to also do that, even though I didn't go into the nitty-gritty, but I mentioned one of such. And if you don't know what these are, there's tendency for you to repeat the same error, and then you begin to call it it's a family curse. Because when a generation repeats it, another generation repeats it, it then becomes something that is common to that family. But somebody needs to break away from that evil trend. Okay, so you want to also ask, how you be able to, how well have you been able to sustain long-term friendship? I think there was a time in my life I sat down and I felt like, well, I don't have too many friends, and I don't think it's healthy. And then intentionally begin to build friends that have my values and that we have almost the same belief system. Because just like I mentioned about somebody of my personality type, they achieve their goals, but when they get to the top, they look right and left and everywhere. There's nobody. Why? Because they never took time in investing in relationship. And part of your currency, part of your wealth in life are people. When you have the right people in your life, you are the most richest person on the earth. All right. So you want to ask yourself how well you've been able to handle long-time relationship. And if you have not done well in this case, you want to be sincere with yourself and do the needful and build more on building friendship, learn skills to make a relationship thrive. Because every marital relationship should have its bedrock on friendship. And if you never started on that note, you must be intentional to build that friendship skill and take it up into marriage. Because when you lack it and you just base everything on God said, and you don't build your friendship in that relationship, the relationship might be shaky. And except you decide to work on yourselves. Now, so who are your relationship mentors? It is safe to have relationship mentors, especially the ones that have the same values like you want, that have also results in the area of marriage. It's also important that they help you navigate every stage of the relationship. Who are you? You want to answer this. And this is talking about your purpose on the head and whole. What aspect of yourself do you love and cherish? Don't shy away from it. Don't feel like it's not popular. Don't feel like you don't want people to hear. You must know that aspect of your life that you love. I love the fact that I'm hardworking. I love the fact that I get results. I love the fact that I am creative at things. I see problems and I figure out solutions to it. I love the fact that I want people's life to get better. So don't shy away from all of this. Then you want to list 5 qualities that you can't afford to compromise in your spouse. God being the factor, maybe number 1. Number 2, is he trustworthy? Maybe that's your number 2. Number 3, maybe faithfulness. Number 4, maybe responsibility. The fact that he's a responsible man. And number 5, the fact that he is big on communication. I just helped you, if that will help you. So yours can be anything, but it's very important that you have that on your list. Not having it is to leave everything to chance. The next one is, if you were the spouse you are looking for, would you be willing to also go ahead, marry yourself? If not, then it means you're not doing fine with your personal development. The next question I want to ask yourself is, why do you think you would marry yourself if your answer was correct? Then you want to itemize those good qualities you have about yourself and be proud about them. You also need to take time to find what your love languages are. By running out of time, this is why I'm rushing. I knew I had what as a young lady, and it's one of the things that never made me to be afraid of the kind of home I'm getting into, because I know that I am somebody of great worth. And that what is one thing that made me confident of the future I'm going into. So you need to itemize the values you have in yourself and grow in it. All right, so who am I versus who you have become currently? Whether it is jiving. If it's not jiving, you want to work more on yourself. Who is your spouse or spouse to be? Or who, and versus who he has become. So maybe who he is in destiny is not who he is currently. Then you want to help him to become that thing. I already knew the kind of man my husband is or should be. And that is what is helping me to drive him to do what he is doing and should continue to do. So what is marriage for you? Some people see marriage as bliss. Some see it as escape route. Some see it as contract. Some see it as the next thing to do. Some see it as competition. Some see it as God's nation building system. Actually, marriage should be God's nation building system and not just the next thing on the line. If you see it as God's nation building system, where two nations come together to form a new nation, then you will know that you are the solution that the world is waiting for. And you'll be able to take yourself like serious, much more than a business, because see, a family is a business. The same way we say the church is a kingdom business, your own family is the first business, family business on the earth. And so because most families have failed God, the last resort to help men on the earth is the church. So if every family gets it correct from the home, the church will do lesser work. All right. I want to give room for questions just before we run out of our time today. And I'd like to reiterate that today, the assignment you are going home with is to do your personal user manual, which you call the product description, and share with me before the next class. Those assessments too, it's not bad that you analyze them one after the other. And it will get you thinking, to get you to be able to find out so many things about yourself. But for me, I think what I need from you is your user manual. But if you want to go the extra mile, it's fine that you go through the assessment. So the floor is open for you to ask questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and commitment. I wanted to comment on on the assessment, probably because of privacy issues. That was why we did not do the inference part. So I think that column is equally important.
Yes. If you were to be a one-on-one session, I would have gone, like I said, I would have gone in depth to tell you what they imply and all. I took my time to just some of the things you mentioned so that I can be of help to all of you. So what would it be that you're asking precisely?
Yeah, same thing. Like you have said, I said the inference section could be very informative, but because of privacy issues, that could be out of record, so that that could be done off air. Thank you.
Yes. So that's what it is. You're very correct. Thank you for that observation. Does anyone has anything to say? I think Wuraola joined quite late, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, or you have network issues.
No, she was in the call also.
All right. Would that be all from all of us? And let me say that if you have not turned in your, what's it called, assessments, you won't help me. And I tried doing the compilation of the results. I think where I have issues now is how to know who is who on the on the assessment, because except I now use the time when you did the assessment to check through. But then everything had come in. But if I run into any itch, I would definitely come back to ask for help so that I can truly help you and not give you the wrong reports. And I think you understand.
Sorry, a quick one. Yeah, I just wanted to react to that. I think everything is captured. There's an email submission with it, so you can track with the email addresses.
Yes, so I actually have all the charts, everything. I have the Excel file, but it doesn't come with name. And there's no place where anyone actually puts their email so that I can know who is who. So I have a lot of people that actually responded to me. Maybe I'll see you after now. Let's leave that outside of the club. All right, thank you.
Actually, I think it's a collective email.
You were saying?
Yeah, I think there was an email ID that goes with it, so you could check because I observed that from my end.
Okay. That's my mail.
The form was actually collected.
Okay. Wura, you've not said anything today. Wura, can you see us? I actually did this. I don't know if Wura can hear us. But then I did this product user manual for myself. And I think I begin to now like myself the more, because I began to see so many things about myself, like, so this is it, this is that. Because see, the truth is, all this assessment I'm doing for you, I've done for myself, done for my husband, because it will help us greatly. And I must confess that this assessment has helped my own personal relationship to get better. So if it has helped me, I am sure it will truly help you if you commit to it. So the appeal I'm giving this afternoon is that please do help me to turn in your assessment, the tree of life, the jar of life, and which one again? All the assessments, I think everyone has done that. But the other assessments, some people have not done them in. I want to say thank you for giving your time to this. It's worth the investment, and it is my prayer that we would all reap the good results of this investment in Jesus' name. Thank you. Have a beautiful afternoon.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.